Heath, you'd be so kind, grab me my Sangha tea real quick.
What?
That orange thing.
I didn't hear what you said.
Speaking another language.
Literally.
Thank you very much. So how's your guys' week?
Busy.
Busy, huh?
Yeah.
How's the new job?
It's very, very good. Looking forward to my first check again. Have a month off. I really enjoy it. It's much easier than what I was doing prior. So going from college level to elementary level. And it's cool. I went in yesterday for 4 hours. And I can have like my laptop and stuff, so I fell in the state competition and was watching stuff while I was doing my thing. My desk.
And Gabe, it's been a while since you've seen.
Almost over a year.
Over a year.
Yeah. Probably pushing 2 now at this point.
Yeah.
Your hair is very striking. You know what is it? Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
What's that guy with the long hair and with the bow?
Legolas.
What's his name?
Legolas.
Who's got one leg? Legolas.
That's his name.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Something about all of the Lord of the Rings series, there's so like sentient beings in there that's so calm and filled with wisdom.
Oh yeah.
Get used to having hair like me and you.
Short,
Oh yeah, very short.
but this character chills you out a lot. Makes you chill.
Yeah.
Calm. We're gonna get started here in 2 seconds. Ooh. Okay. I swear there's a hungry ghost in this room that never wants me to start live videos.
Remember that guy yesterday that just disappeared?
Oh yeah, that was the weirdest thing.
Like, no, like,
No,
there was
serious.
a dude biking behind us, and there was no cross, like, in between. We were on this trail, and then, like, we saw him behind because we kept having to look behind and front, so we'd have to, like, move. So we looked behind, and this dude had, like, a blue bike,
I don't know.
something like that. He was, like, a blue shirt or something, and then I saw him, and he saw him. And then I look back, and then he's just gone. I'm like, Heath. And you're like, what? I'm like, look back. There's nothing.
We both looked back. We saw him. Looked back like a second later.
No, like there's no way he could have
He
even.
disappeared.
We would have saw him like cross.
He disappeared.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah. That's it. The witch. Yeah. Saw a ghost on the Pinellas Trail.
He was going back to his chicken feet house.
It's Chicken Wing House in Florida.
Baba Yaga's husband. He was coming for you, Johnny boy, but you made him.
Spirit.
So you've been reading CBT? What'd you get out of it so far?
So like the first chapter was more about the way you think is it can the way you think is how you feel, so it can transfer like through what you think was what you feel. If you think negatively, you're gonna feel negatively. I just read 4, and that's basically experiment with like how would I feel before and after, like in percentage. So if I was gonna go to a party, and so these people thought 80% chance that they would not like they wouldn't have a good time, and then afterwards they like when after they took the percentage and it went down a lot. So they're just kind of tracking their own thoughts.
I see.
And then I don't remember if it was 3 or 2. I think it was 3 though. It's tackling toxic thoughts, and it like so it was if you see a toxic thought, you kind of want to like reminisce it, look at it, not like make it go away. Like kind of just look at it and kind of let it sit and try to feel or understand why you're feeling that type of way with that emotion, what that spark was to lighten that emotion.
I see. You've been taking notes?
No,
How about
I gave him a book.
not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to today though.
That's the book?
Yeah.
You do well with something that small or regular size composition? He'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay, let us start. See, I swear there's a ghost in here. Okay. Well, we'll just use this if that just so. That's an iPhone. This is a MacBook. No way that they freeze up the way that they do ever. There's a ghost in here. It's just don't like Buddhism. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. I pay my respect and homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened Buddha. I'd like to welcome everybody from across the world. On the east side of the world, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand. That's when you all wake up, you will see the Sunday service. Good morning, bright, everyone in the West from all states. And for those who I have recently counseled, particularly Texas last night. Today's talk is going to be quite interesting as we have different ages in this room, different backgrounds, different stages in life. As everyone aware, I like to meet the student where they're at in life and select proper teachings. But when we have this many people, then I have to kind of gauge everyone's stories and try to come up with something that can apply most universal for all. Today we have Gabe, who's new, and Sam's dad, who's new to Buddhism, and I have decided to bring some props with me. This right here is our robes. When they make offerings of robes to monks, this is what is being offered. This is an alms bowl. I think at one point, Gabe, you thought Sam became a monk, right?
Yeah.
He's on his way there, and I hope to ordain him soon. My work is quite exhaustive with young people, preventing suicides, and most recently repairing marriages. It's very rewarding, but very exhaustive. After counseling last night from 11:30 to 12:30, I pretty much collapsed. And so Sam, the good student that he is, and the smart student that he is, crawls over there like a paramedic and start grabbing cupping stuff. And without my consent, started cupping me. And then at that point, you might as well pronounce the Venerable dead, because cupping is very relaxing and it gets all the toxins out of your body. Wherever there's aches and pains, it just goes away. It's just that was me last night. Along the way of my 8th year as a monk, I don't get stressed out, but it is an exhaustive work. And just every stage, every year, every 3-4 months, someone always steps into my life, either for counseling or an assistant to the Venerable or a student to the Venerable. That just keeps things very much alive. And very blessed to have Sam in my life as he's sitting there listening, taking a lot of notes. So the next and most qualifying would be Sam to take my place if I ever was to retire or step down, or in sickness, health, or death. He can recite, he can remember words that I have spoken. These are trademarks of a good, ardent, diligent student. And so, last night was important, and I'm glad that I took the counseling session, because there were kids involved. There were very young children involved, and they're just watching the parents unfold and how they can absorb all of that later. So it was immediate priority, and clearly Sam sees that it's 11:30. He's with me 24/7, so he's watching everything unfold. See, this is the biography of the Buddha. One day there'll be the biography of Ji Dao. And there'll be testimonies in there. I'm pretty sure he's going to be 80% contributing testimony as to how I live my life, and how luminous, bright, and like aware, alert I have to be to able to catch people's stories, walking their life with them. It's like backtracking what happened 10 years ago with them, literally walking their steps with them. So given said that, the amount of counseling sessions that's done this week, I have decided to choose the topic for today, which is going to be the topic of renouncing and adopting a new way of living. Adopting a new way of living. Renouncing and adopting a new way of living. Because I am seeing a commonality. So there's 84,000 teachings, and God, Lord knows how many human conditions out there that adversely affect the human mind. The agitation of the mind, stress, uneasiness of the mind. And so therefore, the renewal of such talks is important to remind humans why we should renounce the act of giving up certain things in our life, our old ways in our old days, and why it is important to adopt a new way of living. And because and by and through people's stories, I'm able to see, and some questions I ask would include, what philosophy do you live by? What religion do you practice by? And whatever it is not comprehensive, and it is not effective, and it is not efficient. You have to live your life open for examination. As to when people ask, how do you solve this problem? How do you solve this problem? How do you let go? How do you forgive? How do you ask for forgiveness? How do you remain calm? How do you control your anger? How? And of course, it is the how that we always come back to. Buddhism teaches us the how to do that. Buddhism has been around for 2,566 years old. The Buddha left us 45 very thick Bibles. So it's each Bible is about the double size of this book. So just imagine, kind of like this thick. There's 45 of them being translated over and over and over again with additions and commentaries. And it has worked wonders. It has worked wonders for a lot of people, particularly Southeast Asia, where they practice it the most. They became some of the happiest nations in the world. The United States is quite young. People in the West is quite young in regards to the civilization, where it's only been less than 300 years old. With lots of money, but yet most despair and unhappy. So before I continue, there's only one person in here that I haven't gotten some background. So if you would like to introduce yourself, Gabe, where you've been, where you are, where you'd like to go, and what interests you here, just whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Oh, sure.
You're how old this year?
20, turning 21 in June.
Ah.
Very,
Private person?
yeah.
Mm.
But, really talk to people about anything.
Are you working, going to school?
As of right now, no.
What got you to Buddhism?
So,
Sam? You done any research on it so far?
very basic research, I guess. I've always had an interest in different religions and stuff, so it's something I've looked into in the past and like to learn about.
Mm.
Never really knew where to start or had an opportunity. But so I was open coming to experience it.
I see. Private person. Just the concept of a private Buddha. It's called Pajeka Buddha. And they tend to achieve enlightenment on their own, buying through their own studies, buying through their own realizations. They don't mess with nobody. It's just chill. More and more we see the potential. More and more I actually like the idea of a private Buddha, a Pajeka Buddha, actually. Don't all of us wants to be private and shut the world out. The world can be quite hectic with what's happening. Non-attached to the world. So the things that I have identified throughout this week in the commonalities of people is that they get themselves in all sorts of mess of arguments, all sorts of issues that arises with bills, with undermining each other, just a lot of chaos in the midst of living without anything to fall back on. One thing I'd like everyone to reflect is when we live our life, how do we live our life? Do we live our life in accordance to the Noble Eightfold Path? Noble Eightfold Path. Everything we do needs to be within the context of the Noble Eightfold Path. Why? Because it guides you. It guides you. Some things in the Noble Eightfold Path includes right view, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness. Did I miss anything else?
Concentration.
Right concentration. That's the only thing I'm missing.
Right understanding.
Right understanding. God, there's only 8 and I can't remember. Early signs of dementia.
Entertainment.
That falls under precept.
That's the 8th precept.
Then we have the precepts. There's 10 of them, but the 5 basic one is don't kill, don't steal, don't lie, we'll try not to. It's not like don't do it. It's keep yourself from doing it, refraining. I undertake the precept of training to refrain from killing, stealing, false speech, intoxicating substances, sexual misconduct. And if you really wanted to go above and beyond, you would try to refrain from entertainment, refrain from things that are luxurious, like a nice, comfortable sleep number bed, memory foam pillow, as it will not assist you on the path of spiritual growth and development. Isn't that wonderful? Somebody laid out for us the path to peace, the path to living in harmony, the path to living intelligently, wisely, cohabitating in harmony with other people, without crossing lines, without crossing boundaries. I understand you, you understand me. Living soberly. How wonderful if we would just give up. How wonderful if we would just say, maybe I should give this a try. Maybe I should just see what this Noble Eightfold Path thing is all about and give it a try. And to see if I want, just like all of you, private, introvert, didn't speak much, harbored resentment, harbored deep anger, profound, magnanimous level of anger, explosive, judging, controlling, clever, think that I could outsmart many. Then somewhere down the line, I realized that this is not serving me. It's not. Going to sleep grumpy, waking up grumpy, going to sleep worried, waking up worried. It's not a good life. So I gave up. And that's what this color means. Is giving up. So I'm not asking you all to be a monk. I'm asking you all to consider some things in your life that may not be serving you well. Our old, rigid beliefs, our old, rigid convictions. Now, how did those rigid beliefs and convictions got there in the first place? If we trace back far enough, ever since you were a little child, you became this little tape recorder that didn't speak much, but just absorbed everything through your eyes, through your ears, your watch, you saw. You saw parents fighting, cussing, wanting to leave, domestic violence, threatenings, rumors, Fear, 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 fear. A lot of trauma. Everyone has trauma. Then, if you exempt from all of these trauma in the home, then you have society to deal with. And school, trauma in school, the bullying, trash talking, teachers that don't like you, and you don't like those teachers, and friends, and trying to fit in, in the midst of figuring out your identity. Who am I? How do I fit in? Why are they all gothic kids? Why are they into Pokemon? Why are they all gangsters? Why do they have red bandanas? Why do they carry guns? Why do they congregate and smoke weed? Car culture, all sorts of different cultures that could inflict psychological trauma. Then every 20 years, we have a war in America. We tend to wage war just because I think we're just bored and we just want to take things from people, or somebody's taking something from somebody, right? Isn't that what war is? Taking something from somebody. And what is one of the precepts about stealing? Don't take what is not freely given to you. If they didn't give you their country, don't try to take it, or the resources that is within it, like gold and oil and everything else. It's funny when you reflect the teachings of the Buddha and had our leaders follow them to the teeth in the letter of the law of the Buddha, then we wouldn't have some of the wars out there that we do. Simply put, we would have a lot more peaceful nation, happy. People can trust each other. You can leave a diamond ring on the ground and no one would take it because it was not freely. Yeah. So I'd like everyone to just examine, for all those who are watching across the world and back here at home, the things that we saw, the things that happened to us, and how we started to form wrong view, which is the first thing in the Noble Eightfold Path, wrong view. And how we started to become low-key racist. How we started to, us versus them, we started to put all these filters and layers of discrimination, bias, and prejudice in place. Is it necessary sometimes to be as such? Yes, sometimes it's good to be a little prejudiced, sometimes good a little bit to be biased. I'm not asking you all to be a saint, because you have to know how to discern who is wise and who is a fool in your life. And quickly, to let them in or to shut the door, and to gauge them. It's difficult gauging humans because they have malice intent, the potential and capacity to be a bad guy, doing bad things, to use you, and to use you for what you can be used for, to take your money, to use you for your money, for your gas, for your resources, for your emotion, for your physicality, for your desires. So, but somewhere down the line, we learn to forgive and ask for forgiveness. And that's what people are doing right now at church on a Sunday, to forgive and ask for forgiveness. Forgiving oneself, for I know not what I do, and forgive my neighbors, for they have trespassed me. Due to ignorance, said the Buddha. And if the Buddha was to walk into church and just sat there, he would probably say, due to ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. Ignorance of the Noble Eightfold Path. So the introduction to the Noble Eightfold Truth is very simple. Number one, life sucks. That's the first Noble Truth. Also known as the existence of suffering in life, where people misconstrue the first Noble Truth is they say, well, life is suffering. Not quite. There's a mixture in life if you know how to skillfully maneuver around it, understanding its rules, concepts, ideas, and culture. So life is not all about suffering. People wouldn't practice Buddhism if I keep on saying every Sunday, there is suffering. I'm sorry, there's life is suffering, life is suffering, life is pain, life is sorrow, life is lamentation, life is depressing, life is anxiousness. I don't think a lot of y'all would still sit here. I would hope to strike you all as a bright, intelligent, and happy monk, and not a grumpy old man monk. So the first noble truth is we see that the existence of suffering. What is suffering? Suffering is agitation, is stress, is uneasiness, is unsatisfactoriness. Unsatisfactoriness. Like, you have a PS5, Lil Johnny? It's Xbox.
I have a PC and an Xbox, but it's not in Florida. It's not in. It's at my dad's house in New York.
Ever had a keyboard that didn't work?
Yeah.
Yeah. You broke a keyboard due to anger.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Snap.
Snapped. Just in half.
Yeah.
This is the game.
Yeah. I think it was
Rage.
Call of Duty.
Call to anger.
That's why I don't play games no more.
Call to duty. Unsatisfactoriness. Agitation. Now, what is that due to? So the second noble truth is life sucks because you want stuff. What does that mean? Desire causes suffering. Well, we desire a lot of things. We desire for more money. We desire a better PC. We desire that one girl. We desire that one guy. We desire a better paying job. We desire a promotion in a job. We desire less hours to work. We desire bigger and better things, bigger, faster car. Yeah, we just want. And everything else around us as we live in this world encourages us to want. You remember those as seen on TV, like all sorts of gadgets? It tells you that you need it. You should want it. As seen on TV. Yeah, all garbage. Yeah, absolutely, all garbage. And then of course it's like made in China. It comes to your door and it breaks the next week. Want. I want more laptops. I want more robes. I want better LED lights. Want.
I always put a simple net. They wanted a whole lot. Try to live as a minimalist.
But how about we want people to change? I want the president to change. I want my wife to change. I want Russia to stop bashing Ukraine. I want no more nuclear weapons in the world. I want monks to allow us to ordain with hair. Yes.
So what you're saying is it's not always about wanting physical stuff. It's wanting to be treated or what have you. Like I want to be loved, or I want to not be yelled at, or what have you.
I want Julia to give me a back rub.
Foot rub.
A foot rub. I want Heath to step on my back. Whatever. We want a lot of things. When we examine our desire truthfully, deep down inside, you don't have to confess to me. You don't have to. You can stay private to yourself. I just want you to be honest to yourself. Just be honest to yourself. What is it that I want right now in my life? What is it I truly desire in my life? Are you allowed to want? Sure. The Buddha says, yes, you should want. Yeah, absolutely. Just don't want to the extreme where you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you're waking up really, really mad. Okay? You can want these things. The Buddha taught the middle way. He doesn't want people to be so lazy, self-mortification, and he doesn't want y'all to go to the extreme. Anything is too much sleep, too much of anything is not good. Too much gaming, it's not good for you. He wants you to readjust. He wants you to kind of get to here in the middle way. So yeah, you can want material things. You can want a lot of things, but just re-examine it, how much we stand, and we form convictions and we form views. I just want you to change. Change my way. Right? And we see all sorts of physical changes when that desire seeps into our bloodstream and we don't get what we want. So suffering is not getting what you want and getting something that you don't want, like a flat tire. Wanting something and not getting it, and getting something that you don't want. Johnny, what it is that you want right now that you can't get right now?
Um,
More girls? No. More games.
a dog.
A dog.
A dog.
A dog.
Or bird.
Or a bird. They poop a lot.
I love birds. Pigeons. Pigeons.
Pigeons? They're pretty cool. They're pretty chill. They're just really chill. You go and you grab them, and it's like, "What's up, dude? What do you want?" Julia, what do you still want in your life?
Um, Nothing's really coming up right now.
Heath?
I want to get a couple new skateboards.
And race with Sam.
They're going down.
It'll be both of you.
Bulls.
Robert?
This administration would want her to be taken under control and stopped. That's my freedom, mental health.
Sam?
This is one thing that caused me a little too much suffering is getting out of the country. Going to Vietnam.
Mm. Mm. So yeah, well, we're safe and sound in this country so far. So far, right now. Where we're gonna head in the future, I'm not really sure. But y'all better start practicing karate. Y'all better start learning taekwondo. So the third noble truth is, if you don't want life to suck, stop wanting things, right? The third noble truth emphasizes nirvana, truly. If you say to yourself, I own nothing, I want nothing, you're golden. You're getting there. Letting go. That's where we're at. And that's the central key to this talk today is renunciation, renouncing, giving up. Giving up. You surrender. So easy. AA, Alcoholic Anonymous. Just give up. Just surrender. Surrender to who? Somebody. Surrender to God. Surrender to yourself. Surrender. And so many people don't surrender. And it costs them their life. Like when the police say hands up, they don't want to put their hands up. Man, had only they just heed the advice of the Buddha. Just give up. Just give it to them. They just want your hands. Just give it to them.
Right.
Pride, ego. Pride and ego. It's all right. You'll have your day in court. Oh. So renouncing, giving up. And when we analyze how into the details of our desire, how unrealistic they are, how realistic to attain and how unrealistic they are, think intelligently. Get nitty gritty with your desire. With the administration thing, who knows? Who really cares? Will the people win? Typically, because there's more of us than them. And our access to Okay, be careful, not lying on TikTok. And our access to toys. And we the people. Matter of fact, that's what they're afraid of, Rob. They're afraid that we will congregate and try to make a change, a drastic change. That's why, if you notice, everything they try to do is to pull people apart, away from each other. Especially the COVID thing, you know.
Or now they're trying to entice to violence, I believe.
Right. And mask or no mask, you versus them, and all this nonsense. And then, of course, individualism, me, my, and I, my happiness, my house, my 38, my Smith and Wesson. And so it draws people away from each other and starts suspicious, always prompting this suspicious of each other. You know, oh, Korean. Oh, okay, what's going on? But if we just go back to the old ways, and we can live by a code. We can live by a secret code. That's what Buddhism is. And that's why it's so foreign to Americans, because you all have lived a different code, the code that didn't work out for y'all. And if you were to see what the West is doing, how people in the West are hanging out and just chilling, a good social life, a good understanding, they don't get too attached on what's happening. And just when you think no one is advocating for your freedom, trust me, there's always a group that's advocating for your freedom. And just when you think there are no extremists out there, there's always a group out there that, without, trust me, not practice the middle way. They really want to test the teachings of the Buddha and really get there. And it is our job as Buddhists that we're running out of time. We don't really get too much into worldly affairs. We try to readjust our desires and self-improvement. If we become somewhat like the Buddha, next to him, close to him, just like him, then there will be peace in your life, peace and serenity in your life, happiness and joy in your life. Happiness and joy will surely follows. But too much attachment to worldly affairs, to sensual pleasures, to unrealistic desires, it causes agitation, fear, suspicions. It causes all sorts of mental health. Think about it. We're like this very intelligent creature, and we have the ability to think. So we create our own heaven or hell right all up here. Literally heaven or hell. You know, like you walk into a mental hospital, you see all these mental patients screaming, hollering, and you're like, George, no one's here. Who are you yelling at? You know, imaginations, you know, delusions, making up things that are not there. And how much a lot of us make up things that are not there. And how much we twist words that actually was not said, did not happen. We construct lies. We construct storylines to comfort ourselves. The things that we would do to comfort ourselves, you know, and then you end up believing what you've set in stone. Literally all these twisting, the gears, twist and turning in there. Silently, all of the silent engineers in the head. Yeah. Buddhism shines light. That's why there's two lights here on the left and on the right. Why am I wearing bright colors? Yeah, you know, why is this book cover orange and bright? Why did I choose, out of all the 7 colors, I chose bright robes for you all to see? In Buddhism, we shine a light right on it. Shine a light on what the hell is happening in our life, you know. Then it doesn't have any power over us anymore. The secrets that we held, the desires that we held, and the darkness in our hearts. And when, you know, that's what the teachings of the Buddha is. This is the teaching of this light. And once you put a light on it, you're like, oh man, I feel exposed. I feel seen. All right, we'll address it. I got no choice but to give up. Eventually the hand goes up, right? It gives up. Not only do I have to be mindful of my deeds, words, and actions and my own thoughts, I have to be vigilant on my students and the games they play, the little psychological games they play. And what we teachers do is when we walk away and we're no longer supervising, they tend to play in the dark. Like in a room, a bunch of kids in the room playing in the dark. I don't know, pillow fights and tearing up the whole room. And then we teachers we hit the switch. And then they're playing, and all of a sudden they're like, and then we say, oh, I just want to check up on y'all. Carry on. And so it's important for everyone to see that. It's important for everyone to remind yourself of your motive, of things that lurks in the background, the little voice in your head, the little lawyer in your head. You mess with your mind, not your mind messing with you. The mind is like 5 little puppies just running around in the room. They know you're gone. Awareness. A Buddha is one who knows. He's always aware. He's always vigilant. He's always mindful. And when you shine a light onto the puppy, or when you snap a finger and you step into the room and you snap a finger, those 5 little puppies in your mind has to go, uh-oh, he means business. And then you slowly sit and they just listen. Or at least they should. Yes, they should. When this has been brought under control, and it is well attended to and well disciplined, it will bring you great joy, insurmountable, immeasurable amount of joy and happiness. Because now there's no more hell that swirls around in there. Oh, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that happened to me. I can't believe he said that to me. I can't believe she said that to me. I can't believe they won't change. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? I'm going to do it illegally. You know what I mean? Like we conspiracy to commit, conspiracy, all sorts of things. If you look at the law and what the law wrote, the law is speaking to your mind, your intention. You're free to sit in the chair too if you like. Feel free to stretch, feel free to extend your feet. So Buddhism is about shining a light into our hearts, shining a light into our minds, and be honest to yourself in those moments of self-inquiry, self-reflection. Self-inquiry, self-reflection. It's not easy. It's hard. It's painful. But if you go through them, you will grow. And as you grow, people will see it. As they see it, they will respect you. When you look at Sam without his hair, anything strike you in his demeanor, nature, style, disposition, character? No? It's just like, oh, look, oh my God, he might become a monk. Let me see what this is all about. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's been multiple times actually.
We inspire other people by and through our own change. So when you start to clear up certain hells in your mind, clear up certain convictions, certain hatred in your heart, certain dislikes in your heart, surely people will see that you've changed. Surely they will see that you are less judgmental. Surely they will see that you are more accepting. Surely that they can see that you see the light in them. But if we don't change, they know we haven't changed. If we don't change, they know we haven't changed. And nothing comes good out of that. The old ways and the old days, repetitiveness, perpetual cycle of nonsense, of pain, sorrow, misery, blaming, guilt, shame, over and over again. How terrible a short life lived, and yet no peace. Definition of peace is free from disturbing emotions, free from worries, free from depression, free from disturbing emotions. Anything, Johnny, anything that disrupted your emotions this week? Anything that ticked you off? The grin. You can be honest.
I got suspended from school.
Oh, I bet you was mad as hell.
Mm,
ISS,
out of school.
out of school.
But I'm going to school still, just in like a different thing. I go back to normal school next Wednesday.
Excited?
Yeah,
Lots of friends?
yeah.
Yeah. Lots of fools?
yeah.
Yeah. What is your view on school? Do you like school? Do you like, I like getting your education. I like math, science, and arithmetic.
I personally like school. I think it's, but I think it's a very dumb thing. It's a very
Yeah.
stupid, socialistic thing
Yeah.
that they put you in in a like a place where everybody's doing the same thing and the same work to get an A or B, and then you're getting judged on that.
Right.
If you look at the school system about 150 years ago, 100 years ago to now, it is in the same style. It's in the same workplace, in the same way. There was
Right.
no change. The only change was the technology that was put out. It made it easier, but there's no change. And if we can't change, then the world will never really change with their ways of jobs and ways of thinking. The kids won't. That's why there's smarter people outside of school rather than in school. Because school smart is different than book smart, logic is smart,
And the street smart.
well smart, street smart, everything. It places you in the system.
Correct.
It shows you the system. Because school is based to show you a system that you're going to follow through with your whole life, but they don't show you the outside. They don't show you the way to make money. They don't show you the way to live life. If that's why there's kids. It's been scientifically proven that kids with C pluses rather than A's live a better career because the kids that were in higher degree in schooling their whole life never had a downfall. They were never able to come back from something that held them back. And those kids that never got held back and then they get held back, they're always going to be held back because they never learned from their experience. The kids that learn can contribute and keep going through it because they're still going through it day by day. But I think school is a system only for some people. I feel like it's a good thing for some people. Some people not. Some other people because if you look into the job placements, we need cashiers. We need all these people that people think are lames and bums, but we need them realistically. If you really look at it,
Everybody wants to be a plumber, but trade school sure is a great thing.
but if there's no plumbers, who's going to plumb?
That's right.
Right? If there's no cashiers, how are you going to get your food? So there has to be some type of system in which there isn't no school, where there is. They don't teach taxes in school. They don't teach how to pay for housing, bills. They don't teach any of that. That's why I feel like it's more of a place that they show you critically things that you can research. But I feel like it's more easier to research it on your own because we have it right in front of us. And that. It's all school because you can look up anything.
Right.
You have Google. You can type anything and learn anything.
And for those of you who are not used to this, y'all can rest your back on the wall too. So want y'all to just be relaxed. You don't have to force yourself. How old are you again this year?
14.
You see why I like him.
Smart kid.
That's why I inquired about him last week. Nice job. We have Dr. Shoyano, University of Chicago, who received his MD at like 14 years old, and 14 or 17 years old, and his PhD at 23. He's an MD PhD, neurosurgery, pediatric neurosurgery at 23 years old. But I don't care about that. My point is young, talented. So the future Arahants is going to be 16 years old Arahants running around. Little 20-year-old Arahants, fully enlightened beings running around if you stick with this path. No doubt you will become a fully enlightened being with the level of intelligence that you have.
Just how you use it.
You just know how to, yes, right. Because intelligence go two ways. You can be, like Shoyano, find a cure for cancer, or you can be, no, you can be a terrorist.
That's what I was meaning. There's many different smarts. That's why.
TikTok, don't ban me again. Keyword again.
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
You might.
But yeah. But this is why we're having this talk. Is because sometimes life's not fair to us, and school's not fair, and all these things that we have to swim in this pool of BS. So we call it. So somebody just grabbed us and just threw us in this pool, and we have to swim with the BS in life. It teaches you endurance. It teaches you patience, though. Patience to learn arithmetic, science, math, and just get the good stuff out of school, and dismiss the stuff that is useless. Yes. Yeah. In a way, school is made for you to become the next slave in society. To just work, pay taxes, shut up, don't stand up for yourself, blah blah blah. Right. Correct. Right. And then of course came a man that tried to liberate all of us. We call him the Buddha, and he's like, all right, well, whatever they don't show you in school, I'm going to show you clearly, and that's why we're here, so that we can think outside the box. We can shine light where light needs to be shined. But without some formal education, we wouldn't be able to read. We wouldn't be able to write. We wouldn't be able to express ourselves, and we wouldn't be able to do math. And basic math with basic paying of the bills. Eventually, if you're smart, you will always find your way around it. And that in itself is a blessing. If you woke up intelligent this morning, yay. There's a lot of people woke up this morning and they can't see, or they went deaf, or they lost their wits, or was diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's and they can't remember their name. That's terrible. Any questions so far in regards to the Noble Truths that I just reviewed, introduced to you all lately? No? Everyone kind of get it? Huh. So the number 3 is giving up, right? Number 3 is we don't like to be this way, feel this way, then give up. And then what do you do after you give up? The 4th Noble Truth is the path to peace and liberation. The how, the comprehensive how, is by following the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path. Apparently, Bhikkhu Bodhi just finished. I'm not sure if it's like that new, but it's a new book. It's called Noble Truth, Noble Path. Noble Truth and Noble Path. I just posted it on my Facebook. Let me show you a picture of the book. We meditate on the Four Noble Truths. We meditate on the Noble Eightfold Path. In details, we sit there and we examine our desire, and when we're mean to people or mean to ourselves, not good to ourselves and to other people, we look at the first noble truth. There's suffering in life. There is the existence of birth, old age, decay, disease, and death. Like a lot of people get sick, get a cold, you get a flu. You have acquired a disease. We call that the flu. Whatever. Flu, cold, COVID, STDs, whatever. You got it. Okay. And then there's suffering on top of suffering, right? Which is, damn, I can't believe I have this disease. I can't believe I'm itching. I can't believe I have back pain. I can't believe I have sciatica or disc herniations, right? I can't believe I have this, right? So you're causing suffering on top of suffering.
Slippery slope.
Right. So by seeing the true nature of reality as it is, we meditate on the first noble truth. And the great Lord Buddha said, there's birth, old age, disease, decay, and death. You will all be subject to it. So then we're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to have to get past through this and not beat up yourself. A lot of people mad this morning they got cancer. A lot of people mad as hell they got a lot of diseases this morning. Or they're getting older and they realize I'm getting older, or they're literally decaying. And a lot of people did not wake up this morning altogether. And probably going to have lunch with the Buddha soon. So when we see that, and sometimes we are not reminded of that. And when we're mean to each other, people who cause harm, indirect harm, or causes stress onto one another, this is where we remind ourselves, did you forget about the first noble truth? Did you realize that you are subject to old age, death, decay, and disease? I would never cause suffering to you, so I don't understand why you're causing suffering to me. That tends to wake people up quite fairly quick. Knowing how to put that across other humans in your life is key to change. And it's how we say it too, not what we say, but also how we say it in a loving, calming, serene way. Meditating on the second noble truth, reflecting within oneself. What is it that I want? What is it that I want for me, for my life? What is it I want for me, for my life and my wife? What is it I want for my son? What is it I want for my daughter? Want. Re-examine and readjust. Recalibrate. Always in life, recalibrate. That measuring thing, that square thing, the little bubble, trying to get it.
Level.
What? Level. DeWalt brand. Cobalt brand, right? In your life, always, sometimes you should buy one and stick it in the car or put it in your pocket. Little reminders of always recalibrating. To the left, to the right, damn it. Get it right in the middle. Balance. So therefore, in your life, always adjust and readjust. One of the most powerful ways to reflect and readjust and to see yourself and to see your behavior is right in front of you, right there, that pen and paper. Did you know that? So private, under your control, right there. Dear journal, this is what happened today when I got off work. And write it out like a report. A report to yourself, a report that you read as the generals that you are. Right? You are the king of your kingdom. Oh, what the hell happened in your kingdom today? If you were the general, what happened in the platoon, in the brigade, in the whole system of war that's going on here? Write it out, read it, revisit it, recalibrate it, readjust some things in there, come up with another blueprint, redo it again. If it was a failure, great, lesson learned. Do it again intelligently. Kids these days don't understand the power of writing. It was by and through that pen and that paper in front of you is where self-discovery takes place, self-inquiry takes place, self-enlightenment takes place. You want to know who you are? Journal. Alex interrupted us yesterday, right? Alex, who is a social worker, licensed LCSW, was in this room with tables all set up, and she was teaching journaling. We're over there. Those are some drawings, journaling, drawing, it's her thing. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Okay, don't look at it. Don't get attached to it. But the power of journaling, right? I'm teaching you all the how here, right? I'm telling you all the what in life, and I'm teaching you all the how, okay? And this is one of the how, is by and through the journaling. You can and you will go back to some of these talks, and you're gonna be like, okay, somewhere you're gonna be like, how do I do that? And Julia and Heath, look at the amount of, can I see yours for a second? Even though I'm inspired by Julia's, because hers is it's like a little book. But look at all this. They have almost a year, and this is your what, third one?
Yeah.
Third one of writing. Let me see Julia real quick. This is in pencil? Is that in pencil?
This is pencil.
Pencil? Oh, I got a lot of pencils for you. Let me bring them next time. Like really expensive mechanical. Ooh. God, so nice and neat. Look at that. Create your own Bible. Create your own Bible. It means what it means to you in life. When I get old and I can't walk anymore, I'm just laying on my dying bed. Will you all promise to come back and visit me and just sit there and read your notes to me?
Yes.
That would be music to my ears. Don't put no NFL shit on the TV. Don't put no John Wick on the TV screen. I just want to sit there and I just want to, because this is living proof that I did my job. It's living proof that I did my part when I was still able to sit with you, walk with you, smile with you, and joke with you. Then when I'm old, I just want to hear it again. It tells me what an enlightened student you are and is becoming. And one day you will join us in the land of freedom, true inner peace, freedom, and liberation. But this is how it's done. This is one of the ways that it's done. Kids nowadays just text. When they fall in love, they text. And then they misunderstand each other. And then that's how they miscommunicate. And then they fight over a text. They fight over a bunch of letters through a machine. Have anyone ever stopped and thought about that? That we done broke up because of a bunch of letters, American Standard English, that we sent over a piece of square that we have to pay bills on and for. What? Isn't that crazy? They talk about each other instead of to each other.
Yeah, that is crazy. I thought about that a couple of weeks ago. It's
Thank
like,
you.
It's just more. I break it down. There's just a bunch of letters organized in a certain way on a device, this little thing, and you just like looking at letters, and you're like, now I'm mad all day. So chill. No, but things like that always trip me out. These like profound realizations.
So, Rob, I've been giving a CBT book, and this is your CBT book, Gabe. All private and under your control. You can access at any time you like. And a conversation with oneself and a conversation with the authors as you read through it. 50 years of research into the alleviation of suffering goes in there. CBT complements what the Buddha have been teaching us with scientific evidence. So your mind is more easily convinced and persuaded that this is more healthier path, better path, a new path to take. If I sat here without CBT and just preach you all the teachings of the Buddha, you all would be skeptical and suspicious. And it's just like, what? Yeah, but with what evidence did the Buddha have insight into the mind, right? With what? Well, simple. He sat there in silence, something that none of you are able to do. You want to be like the Buddha? Sit there in
It's a lot
silence.
of common sense.
Right.
Common sense ain't common.
Right.
You're right, it's not common. It's actually non-existent these days.
Right. It's like if you were to question his authority, question his qualification, experience, like how did the Buddha knew about the mind? How did he knew how the mind was tripping? Well, simple. He sat in silence, something that you all cannot do. Not specifically you all, but other people around the world. You know what I mean? Well, let's take Wi-Fi away from you. Let's take these phones away from you. Put you in a room for 15 and 20 minutes. We'll find out real quick what kind of hell goes on in your head.
What you're saying reminds me of when you became enlightened. You learned that obviously he was with the ascetics for years. And he left, did his thing, sat in silence. And he came back and well, why should we listen to you? What you guys are basically like looking. Have I talked like this before? Have I carried myself this way? And I'm like, actually no. The proof's in the pudding.
You're just looking.
Yeah, truly. But yes, the study of the mind has been around for a very long time. Something that even today on YouTube, people still scratch their head and there isn't really a definitive explanation to understanding the mind. But yet Buddhism provides that comprehensive overview on understanding in depth for psychiatrists, psychologists to learn from. The Buddha was the first psychologist of the world, the first philosopher of the world. Trust me. He was ultra brilliant when understanding the mind. And so that's all that I want for you all to reflect on is the understanding of your mind. Do I understand myself? Do I understand why I do what I do? And if I don't, I need to look back at the Four Noble Truths. You know, how did I get here? How is my view, how is my convictions affect my relationship with other people? Do I even like myself? Do I even know myself to like myself? These are some really tough questions one must ask oneself. If you like who you are and you have accepted who you are, it doesn't really matter what other people think about you. Simply put.
That's the truth.
Once you truly understand who you are and accepted who you are, and you have a good philosophy of living, and the joy of teaching that to young ones later, to be one of us, to be the noble, a noble man, a noble woman, a rare few that walks on the face of this planet, a rare few that holds the wisdom necessary to save others, is one of the most rewarding things towards the end of your life, is to be able to dispense this wisdom and to remind the younglings how to recalibrate their life and to watch them grow, smile, live, truly live in harmony, truly live in happiness. And then you know that they will inspire their friends. And it's just a whole ripple effects due to the code of conduct that we are exemplifying here, due to a new way of living that we are now exploring, new way of living that we're now discovering. The precepts: don't kill, and it's not the who you kill. It's not the how you kill. It's the who you kill that gets you caught. So don't kill. Don't harm other sentient beings, birds, rats, pigeons, snakes, because you will be subject to severe physical pain. You shorten the lives of others, your life will too be shortened, said the Buddha. And you will be subject to all sorts of physical pain. If you are in physical pain now, here today, is as a direct result of your previous karma, what you did in your last life, who you have harmed in your last life, and what you have killed in your last life. So therefore, in this lifetime, give more and take less, make up for that karma. Start learning how to pour fresh water into your salty pond. Try to equalize out, make it pure and fresh. Some of us came with a pond, a lake. That is to describe your karmic pool. Your karmic pool being salty, fresh, some fresh more than others, some more salty more than others. We don't know. Even if you have 5 PhDs in Buddhism, you still wouldn't be able to grasp fully the full mechanics of and workings of karma. So therefore, take it for what it is, give more, take less. Even if you don't believe in karma, by giving more, taking less, you start to see happiness unfold in your life just through the joy of giving and the memory of giving. The precious gift of knowing that at one point in time you gave, or many points in your life you gave, or that the frequency of giving in your life. The precept of taking what is not given, stealing. Taking what is not given. Pretty sure everyone here have gone through that stage. Probably didn't work out too well for you. And so therefore, we ask permission and consent. Ask permission and consent. Whatever it is that we want to do, because it is courtesy, it is being a gentleman, it is being a woman, to ask if we're not sure, not to assume. A lot of people can misconstrue, misunderstand. The third precept. What's the third precept? Don't. Speech. Right speech, false speech. Don't engage in idle talk. Don't engage in gossiping. If it's not true, if it's not beneficial, if the timing of this talk is not correct, don't engage in it. You should be allergic to the news. You should be allergic to idle talk. You should be allergic when people are talking about other people in your presence. The wise, the noble, don't tolerate that. It kind of agitates us when we hear nonsense and we start looking for the exits. No matter where we are, right? Just look around and look at how many people talk about nonsense, and especially on CB radio. It's just nonsense. It just angers us. It just feeds into the
It doesn't
anger.
even anger me, it just, like you said, it's just nonsense.
Yeah, nonsense. How are we growing? How are we progressing? How are we evolving by and through this conversation? I think that's the best way to put it. Whatever conversation is taking place, how are we evolving? How are we solving problems here? Right? And if they're discussing the how actually realistic is it to really change members of Congress? Leave it up to somebody else. Leave it up to somebody else. If it's beyond your qualification, experience, and education, leave it to somebody else. Let the PhDs deal with it. Ain't our problem. Our problem, our problem. Our problem, our problem. So again, speech is very important. A lot of people get themselves in all sorts of trouble. And last night, before concluding my talk, the wife asked me, well, what are your last suggestions once this conversation ends with you and we go back and we might be bickering and yelling and screaming at each other or arguing at each other? And I said, be mindful of your speech. Before you speak, think about how your words will impact the other person. Think about the long-term benefits here or what's at stake here if you open your mouth. Remember we watched John Wick? Their quotes, everything they said was deep, short, concise, precise, and to the point. Right? Yeah. So there's certain movies, certain books out there with quotes that are small, short. That's why we have the Dhammapada. They're compressed versions of the teachings of the Buddha here. And well, let's give these guys a couple of quotes just for fun. You want to grab a couple and read it?
I got a few of them.
Anyone need to use the restroom break? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, let's take a 2-minute break, stretch for a little bit, use the restroom for a little bit. Ooh.
Let's take a look at CBT.
What happened?
Take a look at CBT.
Good. Yeah, don't let them girls drive you crazy. Read CBT so that you know when they're driving you crazy, and then when they drive themselves crazy. Yeah, telling you, CBT. Are you representing the hungry ghost that's messing with my computers this morning?
It says 1400, but it looks like no,
I don't know. That's ski mask on his shirt. That's the guy. That's the guy that infiltrated my laptop this morning.
yeah, right.
Medieval weapon.
I wanted to get it like yeah, probably don't. You might know what it is, or you too, because I was wondering a shiesty mask. You know, a shiesty mask.
Don't even start with food shiesty. You just stop while you're ahead.
I mean, I have one, but it's
No.
from when I actually went snowboarding.
Like skiing.
It's
Right.
just genuine ski mask.
Right
bro.
speech. Precept people.
Are we talking about committing a felony?
Correct.
No,
No, it's a mask.
no, it's just a
It's the
mask.
type of
I'm
mask.
just like-
I'm just messing with
It's a
y'all.
ski mask. The shiesty is like, it's more open, kind of like a do-rag material. And
Yeah.
Okay, so low key during COVID time, I had this orange mask and I was wearing it around. It was the scariest thing ever to see a monk all in orange with I wanted to be private. Everyone knows I'm a celebrity
I
monk,
think
so
that's a cool. That'd be
I should bring it next time. It was
I think
all
we
me
should normalize wearing masks in society because
That's what I'm
You
saying.
want to turn this into a masquerade?
No, my mom
it's
was
just
like,
cool. It's
my-
a way of self-expression.
like- my mom was like, because I've had it.
If there's any time that you can get away with that,
See how much fun we have?
I've had a shiesty mask before. And like she was like, no, my mom, she was like, our mom, she was like, you shouldn't wear that around here. They're gonna think something of you. No, you can't get it. I'm like, but mom, I used to wear it all the time. But they don't think like people. So what? I don't care what people think. I don't care.
will y'all come to the temple to visit me? Please don't wear your mask.
Alright.
They're like,
You don't want us coming and say, brrr.
You never seen monks run so quick. You never seen orange disappear.
Feel like the guy on the trail. That was the weirdest thing. It was like
yeah, that
1
was
second.
really
It
weird.
was like, you look at something, do a double take, and I had to ask him. I was like, "Did you see that?"
Mm.
Like, "Is there a guy there?"
Okay, cool. I'm off my list.
How are you liking this so far, Gabe?
It's good.
I don't know.
Pretty chill, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking to this to Julia, and I was like, you know, if the whole world, if everybody just followed the 5 basic rules, the 5 precepts, if every person would do that, which is not gonna happen, unfortunately. But if we could, there'd be no need for any military, there'd be no need for commerce, there'd be no need for anything. We could all just,
It'd be harder to
Yeah.
do this.
I think people just.
Slowly,
I sound like a hippie, but like,
slowly, it can happen. Slowly, we get them into Buddhism, then we ordain them, and then it's more monks and nuns running around in orange, and then the whole world no longer is green. The whole world is now orange, and then you're like, oh, that's a lot of orange on the map. Holy cow! Look at the NASA picture. Whew, that's a lot of Buddhists running around. It,
Running,
you know, goodness have always,
walking meditation.
yeah. They're like, why are they moving so slow?
As soon as the monks start moving fast, I would get worried.
Yeah, that aliens are coming.
Yeah, so I want to share this. Well, I let it go yesterday after a bit, but I got so mad with you when we were skating.
That's not happening.
I know what it was, and you're gonna probably laugh even more when I say this. I got so mad because like we go down the Pinellas Trail up in Palm Harbor. And there's a little water treatment center park thing. You refill your water and stuff. Funny, right? Go to a water treatment center to get fresh water. But I go and refill my water, and I'm cruising, and I see this cricket, and I'm like, nah, cricket, like I'm gonna go to the left so I don't run you over. And the guy jumped out in front of on my wheel. What are the chances that a cricket, when I'm trying to actively avoid it, jumps out literally in front of the wheel and just I squished him. And I was like, no. And he was with me. And he was like, what happened? I was like, no.
The cricket had desire for non-existent.
It broke my heart.
Oh, just hope that he let go
Yeah, right?
before he jumped.
I was like, come on, man.
He didn't want to come back again.
I don't know. The more I actively practice these things, the more even the smallest like life form, like just like no. I can't do that though.
You know, he would refrain.
I was like, why? And then there was a cockroach on my car, and I was freaking out because it like ran up the windshield, and I don't know why. They're not dangerous. It just grossed me out, I guess. And
It was
like,
the big one.
it was a big
It was the
one.
palmetto.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
even worse.
Yep, the ones in Florida, they fly.
It ran up my windshield. And I was waiting for her, and I was like, ah! It's on the outside. And then we were driving down US 19 going home, and then it made its way down the driver's side door, and it was just hanging on the side of the door, like at my window at my eye
There's the
level.
other banana. Let's give him one to use for this class.
So I killed something. Yeah,
Unintentionally.
totally. It was my active intention to see and avoid it, and like in my attempt of avoiding it, it literally put itself in my way. I feel like it was a test in a way.
Oh, you set the
Yeah,
cricket
because
free.
you didn't do it on purpose. It was telling you that. And I said, I told you, but medical even said that some animals literally try to like kill themselves.
They do.
I like said a prayer and everything, and like poured water out for it, and John was with me and everything. It was just like, maybe next rebirth be greater than its last.
That's where you look
And
up.
I like sat there for a minute. I'm like, all right, let's go get some water. Shoot.
Yeah, some creatures, they know that they took rebirth into that creature, and it sucks. All they can do is kind of look, and the ones that veer towards the monks, they'll have a lot of snakes and a lot of monks hang out in the forest, or a lot of creatures that come up. And when monks are teaching to other monks, they just tend to listen. They'll literally listen, so that they can, in hope to not take rebirth again, have some wisdom. Absorb some wisdom.
I hope that's something.
Hmm?
You become something else in this life, in this world.
And a worm. The teacher fishing.
That's why it's important to understand the Four Noble Truths before you die, and take it with you as you die. just because if you don't, and if the ignorant realm is the animal realm, because when you look at animals, you see ignorance. Well, what is ignorance? They just eat, poop, and sleep. Or I mean, you just look at rabbits, or you just look at their behavior, and you realize that that's all they can do. They're not going to be able to think. They're going to be able to think outside the box. You know, it's just a perpetual cycle of repetitiveness. So let us return back and look at the Dhammapada and select a few.
Can I keep my light extended for a minute?
Sure.
You guys want to?
I'll take
Sure.
Is it gone? No, thanks.
I wasn't sure if you did it anyway.
Keeps moving. It's cramp. It started here. It's over
it.
here.
Flip phone. Okay.
Okay, I'll choose one. Of course, it's probably not going to be in your book. This is my other book. It'll take you a minute to find it, but the fool who knows that he is a fool is for that very reason a wise man. If the fool who thinks that he is wise is called a fool indeed. Okay, a little short, small, very penetrative understanding.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm on page 4. In these books, it's on page 224. It's under chapter 23, titled The Elephant. So page 224, there's a couple points, kind of touches, and it's always like this, but kind of those two things that you were mentioning. Verse 325, this is the second verse down. Eating too much, sleeping too much, like an overfed hog, was too lazy to exert effort, are born again and again and again. Long ago, my mind used to wander as it liked and do what it wanted. Now, I can rule my mind. As the Mao controls the elephant with his hook staff, we gotta use the elephant. 327. Be vigilant. Guard your mind against negative thoughts. Pull yourself out of bad ways as an elephant raises itself out of the mud. If you find a friend who is good, wise, and loving, walk with him all the way and overcome all the dangers. If you cannot find a friend who is good, wise, and loving, walk alone. Like a king who has renounced his kingdom, or an elephant roaming at will in the forest. It is better to be alone than to live with the immature. Be contented and walk alone like an elephant roaming in the forest. Turn away from evil. It is good to have friends when friendship is mutual. Good deeds are friends at the time of death. A couple things that I on that one. But something we talked about last week.
Rob, you want to glance through that and see any quotes that stick out, or just read some random ones?
On the same page?
It doesn't matter. It's got quotes everywhere, short quotes. You and Gabe just kind of glance through it and see what kind of sticks out a little bit, just for fun. Just for fun. It's like playing bingo.
bananas.
Usually the soy works for
Because
He's very good, but
salt works. One who says what is not true, one who denies what he has done, both choose the downward course. After death, these two become partners in falsehood.
what does that mean to you?
Stories, half truths.
Like I said earlier, right? The construction of our mind, the story we've told ourselves and other people to paint a different picture than what it is.
Actually happens.
Right. Right. It's no wonder, actually, it's no wonder we look at, for example, our justice system and our medical system, and we notice how doctors write it out. If it didn't happen, if somebody didn't write it out about exactly what happened, what medication was given to you, and what happened during that traffic stop. Trust me, other countries, they don't do what we do. But trust me, we even though it's not the best, it's better than other third world countries where they just say, oh yeah, look, yeah, cocaine right here is in my pocket here. That's what he had, and put him away for 5 years. In communist countries, all day, every day. But in America, we have a system of report writing, and now we have body cams to ensure accuracy, honesty, integrity of their jobs. But it goes exactly what the Buddha said. But even though this is societal's thing, but you look at an individual's point of constructions of stories, we realize that even as a victim yourself, when you look at how you are a victim of violence or a victim of you just were being so extra on top of what actually happened to us. How dare he do that to me? Does he know who I am? All of the compounding of the ego, and how much suffering that causes us. Civil law, when people sue each other civilly, 90% of the time it's because of the principle and not the value of that, because somebody didn't apologize. Somebody couldn't right a wrong. So the other person was like, oh, really? Well, then I'll teach you the lesson in court. How about that? And I'll pay all these attorney's fees just so that I can make my point across.
Or in the interest of trying to get even or inflict harm because of harm was inflicted upon them, so they want to feel they got even.
Eye for an eye.
Mm.
You were going to add something into your quote? No. Gabe, you found one?
Yeah.
It's okay. Oh, it's okay. So we can see after you guys hopefully finish CBT somewhere down the road. No rush, no worries. Just so that somewhere down the line you guys pick up the Dhammapada, which is what is here. These are for you to just look at here today, not take with you. Too many books, you wouldn't read it. It'd be overwhelming. CBT alone is 400 pages. So, but
Out at home, actually.
you do
I think I do.
exact same one.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a good copy.
see, he read something that's good. According to your allegations, he read useless things.
Not completely useless. Mainly about war and fighting and Chris Kyle.
So the Dhammapada, are short, small verses that are really, it wakes people up. And one sentence can have you reflecting for a whole month of trying to cultivate yourself to be the wise, truly. And again, if you don't know how to live, this teaches you how to live. If you didn't know the how, this gives you a method, chronological order, how to carry yourself this point forward to ensure your own peace. To ensure your own peace. Any questions so far about what we have discussed? Julia, anything that's stuck out to you in the Dhammapada?
Yeah.
Oh, and I need to review the science of well-being with you guys afterwards with Professor Santos, Laurie Santos.
It's on page 234, verse 334. The compulsive urges of the thoughtless grow like a creeper. They jump like a monkey from one life to another, looking for fruit in the forest.
It's fun. I read that yesterday.
When these urges drive us, sorrow spreads like wild grass. Conquer these fierce cravings, and sorrow will fall away from your life like drops of water from a lotus leaf. Therefore, I say, dig up craving, root and all, as you would uproot Barana grass. If you don't want Mara to crush you as the stream crushes reeds on its banks. As a tree, though cut down, recovers and grows if its roots are not destroyed, suffering will come to you more and more if these compulsive urges are not extinguished. Wherever the 36 streams flow from the mind towards pleasure, the currents will sweep that unfortunate person away. The currents flow everywhere. Creepers of passion grow everywhere. Whenever you see one growing in your mind, uproot it with wisdom.
I like that.
You all are free to comment what it means to you too, if something comes up in mind. Okay.
I suppose the root cause bring them to the surface.
That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Shine a light on the darkness within you.
Mm-hmm.
Or beliefs.
You mentioned earlier last month how to fly with the eagles
Or the nighthawks.
and not hang out with the pigeons. You can't hang out with the pigeons and expect to soar like the eagles and the hawks, right? In regards to leadership.
That's fun.
So here's this illustration of a bird on top of monks. We got a bunch of ignorant people running around. And it says, "This world is blind. Here there are few who see clearly. As birds escaping from a net, few go to a blissful state." And we try to cultivate ourselves to be like these folks right here. Mind you, you can become a fully enlightened being without having to be a monk. So, but this is the rest of the world still asleep in their own thinking, in their own habits, their old ways and their old days. Right? Here there are few who clearly see. And see just doesn't mean with your eyes. See means to see it with your heart. Do you see the Four Noble Truth in your heart? And once you see it in your heart, there's this aha moment. This is big aha moment. So we conclude the Dhammapada. Let us review, because Sam was on top of that, the science of well-being on Coursera.com. So Sam, why don't you give us what you got so far? Got the sun in my face.
One of the main things that I respected about Laura Santos was her openness about herself. Because she told her students, and have you guys started the course yet?
Yeah.
So you guys saw I think it was like the second video talk about when she was kind of getting more in depth with her few students in the classroom, and she was telling them about the science, the breakdown, what they're going to learn, what to expect.
I agree with you. She was talking about how she's like, I'm not here to just say that I am the one that is just at my maximum happiness level, and I'm here to be like amongst a bunch of people that are unhappy, be like, this is what you should do. It's like, I need this too. I'm not at my level of happiness, and this is helping me, and I want to help you walk with you.
You or pride.
Yeah.
That was one big thing that I noticed. And the system that has been created, in the order of it, it's very easy for anybody, which I think will make sure that that system does not fail. In order for systems to succeed and flourish, they have got to be duplicable and relatively easy. Otherwise, very few will take it up.
Yes.
And I learned that when I was starting to get into pyramid scheme at one point. But the one thing that I took away from it was they started talking about fast food franchises, why they do as well as they do. Because there's a system in place, there's a training system, there's a supply system, and then the actual order and workings of it is easy, simple, and duplicable, which is why any Joe Schmo can do it, and which is why it's so prevalent around the whole entire world. And I saw that in that system. No, it's good for just about anybody, even if you're not in college. Even you could even take things away from it, being as young as you are with the intelligence that you have. Anything you want to add? I don't know how far you guys got in Coursera.
I didn't get as far as she did. He was actually doing it with me a little bit, so that made me pretty thrilled. But some of the things that we were looking at are just the skills that we're going to be focusing on, and these are the things that CT touches on. Bada, Dhamma, it's all consistent. Be grateful, gratitude for everything. You know, as you said, waking up. People didn't wake up with their wits. People don't wake up being able to see or what have you. And you just got to be grateful. Like I had a cramp in my leg earlier, and I'm grateful that I'm able to sit here and experience the cramp because I have a leg that can cramp. You know, and by being grateful, having gratitude, we're going to increase our happiness. What we didn't get to, but part of the first part of it, they mentioned meditation. I know from firsthand experience how beneficial that is. Meditate every day, every single day. And it truly brings well-being to our minds. So I'm excited to get into that, but I haven't got there yet. And then savoring the moment, talk about, you know, experiencing it, being in the present moment. That reminded me of Ram Dass. He was talking about when he was at Central India, and he had one M&M, a peanut M&M, just one peanut M&M, and he ate the one peanut M&M, and he like really savored it. He said that one M&M was more than enough, that all he needed, because he tasted the chocolate, the saltiness, the flavor of the peanut, the different flavors, and he savored it. So savoring the moments that we have, being in the present moment, not looking forward to the next moment, always living in the future never comes. Or, you know, those old sayings like, you know, tomorrow never comes. And think about, well, what is yesterday, or what is tomorrow, but the next day is yesterday, and you know, should be philosophical with it. But it's true, if we be present here and now, we're going to savor it. You know, the tree or the sky, you know, how much I have an affinity with clouds and the constant shifting and changing of it. It's what brings me into the moment, because it's never going to be the exact same. And it's always changing. But that's where I'm at so far, kind of what I've taken away from it.
To further go off of what you're saying, she explained what the G.I. Joe fallacy is, and it's the mistaken idea that knowing is enough to change your behavior. So knowing is a good step, but taking the actual actions and practicing are most of the battle for the long-term behavior change. And I got to misconceptions of what we think makes us happy, which is a good job, money, awesome stuff, true love, perfect body, and good grades. And to prove that these are misconceptions, there was a bunch of data that was found from scientific studies. And people, like, for example, Oh, this was interesting for me because we've been on a weight loss journey, and I noticed I started getting really personally attached to it, and it caused me more suffering. So I try to like let that go, and I'm not like so observant of my weight and stuff. I thought it was like only me that may have been going through that or something. But there was actually a study that said that people who were in this weight loss program, they measured where they were at with happiness before, and then every single one of them after were less happy. People who lost weight were more unhappy than people who gained weight, which I thought was really interesting. There was studies about, a perfect body or face. People who had cosmetic surgery actually were more depressed, more prone to alcoholism or like using drugs and stuff too. Yeah. And also people think like their genetics and life circumstances control them. Like they can't change anything, but we do have control over our thoughts, the way we think, which in return is how we behave. We can actually change. And there was data that showed genetics are 50% of why we're not happy. 10% is actually the life circumstance, and then our thoughts are about 40%. So we have a huge margin of change that we can make in our own life to become more happy.
That is a great amount of control that you
Yes.
have. 40%. Yeah, most of us were born with baseline. Some people are like a little bit here on the baseline of happiness. It kind of up and down a little bit. But the fact that 40% of that you can add on top of your baseline
Yeah.
is amazing.
And put that in the sales perspective, in sales, typical like rule of thumb is you shoot for 10 to 11% success rate. So on contact ratio, you want to try and get in contact with 10%, 10 out of every 100 contacts. Of those 10, you want to close 1. So if you base it off of 10%, then we realize the control we have is 40%. I'm using sales and figures, but that's huge. That is huge. Talking about percentages, another thing that I saw that kind of bothered me a little bit was is at the beginning too. America prescribes antidepressants 400% more than it did 20 years ago. That's a nightmare. This is coming from somebody who is on a lot of prescription medications from psychiatrists and thinking that there was something wrong with me, that was this and that, and was suffering character traits of these different things, and I was on things from antidepressants to mood stabilizers to anti-anxiety medications, and it was just keeping me stuck. And just by controlling this, I haven't been on any medications, and I've never been happier. So I heard that statistic, and I was like, my heart, it keeps us stuck. That's because we don't know how to be happy.
That's right. How to be happy. And some people just give up. They're like, oh shit, my life's already like this. I'll just ride it out.
Yeah.
And they do. Back to liquor, back to drugs, back to gambling, back to sex, back to prostitution, forever, eternal. And then take rebirth. Because they don't know the how. And courses like this, free, Coursera.com. The Science of Wellbeing is free. And again, it has to be backed by data and research by Yale. Yale, right?
Yes.
Yale University. One of the finest Ivy League schools to give you all these things so that your mind is convinced and persuaded that, oh, it don't have to be like this. I can make a change. That there is hope around the corner. I don't have to live in misery. I don't have to live in sorrow. I don't have to live in misery. You don't. Yes, there is a way. So good. So these are all music to my ear. I studied this like 15 years ago. And again, when the economy took a crap and everyone was depressed, depression, like economic depression, I was like, maybe I should study happiness. The study of positive psychology is the study of happiness. And I did. I went into Barnes & Noble and like it was nobody's business. And I just looked up a bunch of books on happiness, Dr. Ivan Smith being one of them. There's bunch of books on happiness, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get worse by reading these books. I convinced myself. I'm like, no, I was just 20-something-year-old young man, and I'm like, I'm just gonna start reading these little ones. Just what do they have to say? What are the commonalities? What are these all this got to say? Especially that MD and PhD behind their last name. I'm pretty sure they didn't waste their time trying to teach us. But most people actually look at and then they dismiss these books. They're like, what? Happy? The hell? Or they mistaken the fact that, well, my definition of happiness is different than your definition of happiness, and don't learn the right way. The way that is most helpful and healthy, happy and healthy way to do it. Some people are like, well, my happiness is partying with strippers. Okay, Tom, I got it.
But that's not.
Right. Or some people are like, this much of Fireball is my happiness. Right. You know what I mean? This much of Patron. Oh, I forgot to get the Patron bottle. We took a walk and it was a Patron package, beautiful package. And I was like, oh my God, it's heavy. There's still liquor in it. You've never seen a monk so excited touching liquor. Without the intention of consuming. I just wanted it for teaching. I just wanted to drag it here and do it for teaching. Look, if I was a drunk, y'all would know. I'd come up to class and be like, what? So I forgot to get the Patron thing. But yeah, a lot of people do that. And entertainment over education, which is the NFL, the sports betting, gaming. I'd rather you game than play with Glock switches. So we'll just stick with gaming for now.
I haven't played video games in like years.
So what did you get out of the Coursera, Johnny Boy?
It was more at first because we only got to like a tiny bit of. I only got about a page of like information, not even. But it was more showing about the course, how what it will help with, like the gratitude, happiness, meditation, and savoring. And like you said, like it's kind of astonishing. Like 20 years ago, like we're using 400% more, like it's 400% more prescribed now than it was 20 years ago.
Pill mill.
Huh?
Pill mill. Dishing out pills.
Yeah.
Just imagine right now in your head the factory of super extravagant mass production of pills. Well, but we know this because you go to any police station and there's one that says pill disposable for people who have extra oxycodone, hydrocodone, Percocets, or whatever, expired pills. You can go there and safely discard it instead of dumping it into your garbage or your bathroom toilet, and then the fish gets it, and then the fish is high. Right. But yeah, that's how much the amount of pills that is being pushed through is circulating.
And that's just the people that are responsible enough to dispose of it safely.
Right.
The amount also causes the problem of the fakes and the drugs, not least. And when you start realizing that people who will say don't keep the precepts have to start selling Narcan, and cartels have to start dyeing their product in order to protect themselves so that they know, the world knows that they are not the ones doing it. Then you have a problem.
Clearly, there isn't enough monks to run around and save people. Clearly, there's not enough orange running around America trying to wake people up and be like, hey, rainbow fentanyl. Now fentanyl is laced. You know about it, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And if these little kids right here are going to pick up one of them and then dead, and deader than a doorknob.
Even the cops that die from
Like that.
across.
I have to do that so that everyone's like, oh, whoa, oh, woo. Having lunch with the Buddha. Deader than a doorknob. And it also impacts the funeral directors, because I work a lot close with them. It's the color that means death, not Halloween. And the funeral directors that I work with, they're very young and they're very sad as young funeral directors. And of course, they went to school to study death and dying perspectives, and here they are putting makeup on little Johnny boy. Yep, draining your blood, pumping you with formaldehyde, putting you in a box, lowering that box with this little crane thing at the end of the box, and then making sure you look nice and good and pushing you out into the view. And then they sit there with the pain and sorrow and the story behind it. It impacts them so much to work with funeral directors, to learn that young people are dying at such a fast rate. It's terrible because the value of life, the millions of dollars we dump into the cultivation of young people as early hope and promise and praise for our country, the next leaders of America, is now laying in boxes now and being buried.
Not by the same people that you just said.
Correct. So it's again, so it's a good thing that people like students like Sam, who is a rare few that veers towards this path, and you are some of the rare few that comes and receive this wisdom. And I hope to conduct emergency ordination soon for Sam, because emergency. I don't think I've ever heard any monk say that in the world. As a monk living in America, the urgent nature of more wise, noble beings running around grabbing a microphone to teach the good news and teach the how. In the emergence, I'm actually merging with other faiths and religions, interfaiths groups, in order to get this message across quickly, so that we don't have little more Johnny-sized coffins and then the mass production of Johnny-sized coffins being produced. So yeah, it's but that's where we're at. But I'm glad that you that see when I tell you to go on Coursera and sign up for something, now you are more enlightened than you previously were. And now little Johnny gets to hear it 400%. Just don't be one of them. You know, if you like your smart wits and everything working fine, you know, eating, pooping, sleeping, if everything's working fine, keep it that way. Don't touch nothing. No needles, no pills, no vapes, no whatever. I don't know what they lace with vapes nowadays, but just try to keep, just try this meditation. Matter of fact, let's do that. Let's do some meditation. Let's do some guided meditation for a second as we wrap up today's session. This is our favorite time of the morning is meditation. So during this meditation, for those who are new, you all will have thoughts that come up as you close your eyes, but you don't have to close your eyes. We sit straight. The body is erected so that we are bright, luminous, intelligent, alert, aware, conscious. We will take the deep breaths and you just enjoy them. You don't have to push, you don't have to force the breath in any way. When thoughts come up, just let them pass by just like traffic. Don't analyze it. You are the wise pedestrian. A wise pedestrian don't need to know who's driving the car as it passes by, what kind of idiots they are. The wise pedestrian just look at traffic and just smile and just realize that this is the true nature of reality of traffic in our minds. So at this time, with your right hand over your left hand, with the two thumbs barely touching each other, back straight, shoulders relaxed, relaxing all of the muscles on your face. Bring a small smile to your face. Meditators are happy people. We take our first 3 deep breaths. Like a balloon,
inflating. At this time, we enter mindfulness of the breath. We will now observe carefully, mindfully, the rising of our in-breath, breathing in, your tummy rises, breathing out, it deflates. We want to know, no, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in, breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. When things get too much, you can place your hands on your abdomen and bring back your awareness that you are in fact in the moment of practicing mindfulness of the breath. Enjoying each breath. There is a natural pleasure of each breath. Here you will learn to have a new relationship with one of the most powerful components of your body, powerful function of the body that sustains your life and happiness. Breathing in, I am at peace. Breathing out, I let everything go. Breathing in, you are at peace. Breathing out, you let everything go. Let the thoughts go, let the emotions go. Be a blank slate.
together. Năm 12 giờ gặp nhé. Dạ. 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 Dạ, uống cà phê cà pháo. Dạ dạ.
Breathing in, I know breathing in, breathing out. You know you're breathing out. Be aware of your posture, back straight, relaxing your shoulder, relaxing all of the muscles on your face. Slowly we will enter into loving kindness meditation. This is loving kindness meditation for those who were not good to themselves.
May I be free from enmity and danger. May I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. May I take care of myself happily. May my parents, teachers, relatives, and friends, fellow Dhammafarers, be free from enmity and danger. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. May all yogis in this compound be free from enmity and danger. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. May all monks in this compound, novice monks, laymen and laywomen disciples, Free from enmity and danger.
As you listen, you repeat in your head, may I be well,
May they take care of themselves.
may I be happy,
Marsh's powerful hammer drill has kicked.
may I be free from mental suffering, may I be free from physical suffering, may all of my wishes be fulfilled. May my loved ones be well. May my loved ones be happy. May my loved ones be healthy. May my loved ones be free from mental suffering. May my loved ones be free from physical suffering. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be free from mental suffering. May you be free from physical suffering. May all of your wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be well. May all beings around the world be happy. May all beings around the world always be healthy. May all beings be free from mental suffering. May all beings be free from physical suffering. May all beings' wishes be fulfilled. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Let us take 2 deep breaths. At this time, you can slowly relax your concentration and slowly arise from your meditation. Back to the sound of my voice. How's your meditation, Johnny? Like it? Difficult? Difficult? Yeah, what happened during meditation?
I don't know. So it was just kind of standing up.
What happened?
I couldn't think really, so I kept thinking, so then I just stared off.
Thinking a lot
And,
about that girl?
no.
No. School? Home? A lot. How was it for you guys? Your experience? Was it easy?
I've tried meditating in the past because my dad is really into this stuff. I have a difficult time clearing my mind.
Mm.
Just getting control of my thoughts, I guess. It's been a struggle with fully silent, just trying to let thoughts pass.
Rob? It was easy for you? Good. People look at all these I guess TikTok did kick me off again. Maybe it got a thing for loving kindness meditation.
Oh, it just did it?
Oh no, it says due to an error of internet service could.
Hungry ghost.
Huh?
Hungry ghost.
Hungry ghost. You guys have any feedback so far, what you've absorbed? You see the benefits of services like this, how it's necessary to nurture our consciousness, nurturing of our awareness. A good reminder when the mind is not been brought under control. So, we got a lot of Marvel superhero movies, Batman and Superman and the Marvel 5 and whatever, X-Men, and all the stuff out there, right? So everyone probably get a kick out of natural superpowers of the superheroes. The one thing we humans are like, yeah, we really like those superpowers and stuff like that. But the one superpower we also have is to bring the mind under control. And the Buddha left us a method to do that, and that was by and through the breath. It's the breath that determines when you die. The purple team, hospice, knows when you're going to die. When you are at risk of imminent death just by through the pacing of the breath, they watch it very carefully. And your family members, and they're like, okay, time to ask for forgiveness. Go, quick, 30 seconds. And it was by and through the breath that the Buddha achieved full enlightenment. And enlightenment can be, in fact, achieved in this lifetime. And enlightenment is found here on earth. The Buddha was born on this planet, he was raised on this planet, and he achieved full enlightenment by and through his own human effort. And these are the historical evidence, scientific evidence, that he, in fact, did once exist.
And that's what we monks do. We tried it our way, didn't work out. We renounced and gave up and tried his way, and we realized, wow, how profound. I'll be damned. And continued his ways. And once our own greed, anger, and ignorance is resolved, we turn around and we teach you all of this so that you all can achieve the same level of enlightenment, same level of peace, or as close as it is ever going to get to peace, as close as it is ever going to get to the enlightenment. But realize that sometimes in your life, things will be out of control. And there's always something waiting back at home. Not sure who it is or what it is. But we always think about it. But it's okay. When it gets there, it gets there. The most precious thing is this moment right here, right now. And when you are forgetful of that fact, or when your mind plays tricks on you and try to pull you to the future, or pushes you to the future and pull you backwards into the past, just put your hands on your tummy and realize, I'm here. I'm safe. Nothing really matters. That's it. Sometimes we call this the art of not giving a shit. The art of not giving a shit.
Wisely.
Right? It comes, it comes. Tomorrow, tornado. I don't give a shit. Yesterday, someone got nuked. Don't have nothing to do with me. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just chilling. So that's what's awesome about Buddhism is, we don't really too much about the future. It comes, it comes. Like, trust me. Yeah, if karma wants you, it would have you. No matter how many bullet vests you're wearing, no matter how fortified your walls is in your house, if karma wants you, you will be dead. Faster than a doorknob, faster than dirt. So, living free. So yesterday you caught some quotes and phrases in John Wick, and he's got a thing for John Wick. He loves running around my house doing backflips and front flips. And
I do breaking neck flips if I try to do that.
Yeah.
But the running part, yeah.
Let me wait for Julia to come back so I can speak about
You want
a quote that they left out because they didn't study Buddhism. The last two things that they said in the end of the movie, right? You wait for Julia to come
I
back.
know what you're talking about.
And
The
then
steps.
and then there's the venerable versions of it towards the end. Now I pretend like I was standing there chilling with them, and I just wanted to add another one more profound, deep philosophy before they killed each other. And what I would have said would have probably changed their mind, but I'm not there.
I want to watch it.
Nor was I invited to be there. So
Well, we actually paid to be there, so I mean,
yes, we want to take you to do fun stuff with us.
Are y'all talking about the same,
John Wick.
4?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You watched it?
No, I want to watch it though.
Okay. We'll watch it again for the third time, just for the sake of this guy.
Yes, see it third.
No,
we had
well, he'll be the third time. We all of us should go watch it.
well,
I love John Wick. I liked 1 and 2. Third one was a little overkill. I'm hoping the fourth one's good.
Oh well, it's John Wick. So what do you expect? It's like
I know.
Michael Bay Productions times 3.
So,
I gotta see it.
so two things out of the movie, just for fun, just because it's now we're merging entertainment with education, so that everyone's like, "Ooh, what's going on?"
Relatability.
So towards the end of the video, then when they gonna pop each other, and of course they always got something to say before they pop each other. My dad's so funny. My dad is a triple discipline professor, so he's watching the movies. He's like, "Yep, someone's getting a check out of this," but he'll say stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh look, they always got some to say." All right, and then it gets me thinking. I'm like, yeah, in real life, you just pop them. Why do you need to waste your words, right? So John Wick, towards the end of the movie, they're like, those who cling on to death lives, and those who cling on to living dies. Now, in Buddhism, we encourage you all to achieve the deathless state. Do you know what that means?
The deathless state? You know what that means? The deathless state?
Related to the non-self.
The deathless state is no birth, no death, deathless. So you live moment to moment, the birth of this thought, the death of this thought, the birth of this thought, the death of this thought, the birth of this emotion, and the death of this emotion. And knowing how to resolve that quickly and not to cling on to them and not let it really run your whole day, right? Some people wake up on the wrong side of the bed and remain that same state of mind throughout the whole day. And you're just like, oh my God, this is really toxic. Wow. It's like living with a living, breathing cancer actively the whole day, just flaring up the whole day. And just, can I eat? Whoa, can I chill? Chill out. Oh my God. Can I have a drink? So the deathless state is nirvana. The ability to tap into the deathless state, the ability to be in the moment, clear vision, to be at peace. That's something I want everyone to just reflect on. And before they got to the dueling stage of John Wick, John Wick fell off the stairs. He tried to run up so that he can duel, but these were stairs longer than the Great Wall of China. And so he gets up there, this humongous dude just pop, and he like rolls down 5,000 steps twice. That's very tiring. The one thing you will catch from John Wick is throughout the whole movie, they never stop shooting. They never stop beating up each other. And it's just like, oh, this is really tiring, really tiring. I've been in the tactical world, so I know I've had to carry the same equipment, the same training. And for just a couple of hours, I'm like, wow, I'll confess now is that in the daytime when usually things don't happen, I usually take all of my rounds out of my gun and I just put 3 bullets in there. Yeah, and I change my gun to a smaller one and I just put it in the holster so it looks like a big thing. And like, if I can't shoot somebody with 3 rounds, well, shoot, maybe I shouldn't be in the protection business. Let's drop off everything and just carry an empty belt. So it's very tiring. And one thing about the study and practice of Buddhism and meditation is I know that it's a lot of information to absorb and to process and to apply it to one's life, but never tired. Never tired of fighting the good fight. Never tired of getting back up and charge forward. You can win 1,000 battles 1,000 times, but the noblest victor of all is one who wins it within himself. Wins it within himself. And hopefully you all reflect on that. We have a lot of battles every day. We're battling ourselves. We're battling with our own physical ailments. We battle with our limitations. We battle with acceptance. We battle with self-love. We battle with self-care. We battle with not having a lot of money in our pockets. We battle with bills in our face. It's tiring. It's exhausting. I know this. People are like, oh, monks are just chilling. Really? Not last night. And every other night that is. My Saturdays are like my Mondays. And my Sundays are like my Mondays. Every day is a Monday to me. But it's a happy Monday. I love it because I'm helping changing lives. Without me, there'll be more terrorists in the world. Right? And so never tired of practicing, never tired of listening, and never tired of reading. Never tired of reading. Last night, should I have died last night, clinically dead last night, the last story he has to tell was, so the Venerable took this couple's counseling, bright, luminous he was. Then after the conclusion of such counseling, he retreated to the floor. Exhausted, tired, gasping for air. With the few breaths that he had left, he frantically looked for his book, The Life of the Buddha. Moments leading to his death, he opens up a few pages, chapter 9. He read a few lines and subsequently reached full enlightenment. Sounds great. But I was very exhausted and I tried to reset my mind as much as I could. the engine was overheating. Steam was coming out. And I tried to reset it, and I said, oh, Lord, give me strength. I said, oh, Lord Buddha and Vishnu and Allah, everybody give me strength right now. I just need to reset. So I figured one of the greatest ways to reset was to grab on to the teachings again, the life raft of life, and squeeze in a couple of encouraging words to provide inner strength, and that it did. So never tired of reading. If I have done more than 21 years of reading, and the amount of handwritten notes stretches from this floor all the way to that ceiling, what makes you think you can't do it? At any age. Any age. Right. Reach the deathless state. Reach a state where you are no longer shakable by anything that is good or bad. No matter if they call you names, put you down, hate you, rumors about you. You're a murderer. You're a cheater. You're a thief. You're a nobody. What?
Mr.
What? So, I hope that this introduction this morning did justice for you all, that you absorbed a lot out of it. It provokes curiosity. It is inviting, and it is discovering for both of you who are new and those who are new joining us. I hope to strike you all as a intelligent, good, qualifying, authentic teacher, one who wants party just like the rest of you, with girlfriends, with drugs and alcohol, with guns, with all the finer things in life, whatever, you name it. I've been there multiple times. And somewhere down the line, it just didn't work out too well. Couldn't drag it all along. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So here I am, changed man. This means changed person. Person is on the path to change for the betterment of myself and for the betterment of humanity. So embrace this journey with all of us, the few, the rare, the noble, the wise. And I can't wait to see all of you bloom and flourish in life. Flourishing, smiling, growing. Good life equals a good death. And the many more in your life, the many family members in your life, the more friends in your life, friends absent for a long time, friends there is to come in the future, a whole network of other beautiful humans looking up to you for advice. Cannot wait to share the good news. Cannot wait to share enlightenment. So as we conclude this talk, we should really conclude it. Verse 47. Yattha varivaha pura pari purenti sakaran ewa me wa ito dinang petanang upakapati ichitang patitang tumhang kipame wasame chatu sappe purentu sankapachando panyaraso yatha manicho atiraso yatha Sapitiyo vivajantu sapparo ago vinasatu mate phawantantarayo sukhi dihayuko bhava abhivadana sile sanecang buddha pajanino jataro dhamma vadandi ayuwanno Sokhang palang bhavatasa pamangalang rakatasa padivadasa pabuddhanupavena sadasoti bhavantu te bhavatasa pamangalang rakatasa padivadasa patammanupavena sadasoti bhavantu te bhavatasa pamangalang rakatasa padivadasa patammanupavena sadasoti Bhavantu te. May you all be well, be happy, be free, be joyful. May you rejoice and delight in the teachings of the Buddha. The gift of the Dhamma, the gift of the teachings of the Buddha excels any other gifts in the world. May you rejoice the treasures that you have accumulated in your mind. May you reflect on each and every single word that was said today and apply it and act on it in your life. May you go home and study CBT and await more treasures to be discovered. The true inner peace, freedom, and liberation, and true happiness. Undeniable happiness, unshakable happiness, lasting, long-lasting happiness awaits for you after your human effort of reading, after your human effort of trying. May you forgive yourself and ask for forgiveness from other people. May you cultivate yourself as a wise gentleman, woman, the wise husband, the wise father, the wise boyfriend, the wise son. May you know how to start new again in your life. May you reflect on nirvana. May you reflect on the noble truth. The truth of suffering in this world we all have to embrace. The truth of letting go so that we can achieve peace. If you want to fly, get rid of all the weights on your shoulder. May all of you realize how intelligent, bright you are. May you realize the light of your own true nature. May you be healed from your wounds. May you be a source of healing and medicine for other people. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. A lot of religious things happening today. Why do we bow to me? It's actually not to me. It's to the colors that I represent, which is the colors of peace. The colors dedicated to world peace. And so now we conclude our session. It's now 11:51. Sam and I have 9 minutes to get to the office as I have cases that I have to work. As everyone knows, I went back to work full time so that I can keep the lights on so that we have this room to continue our teachings and meditation. I will see everyone next Sunday, and keep up the good work. If you have any questions, feel free to text. Okay. How are your guys' finance?
Really tight.
Well, let me untighten it for you. You cannot refuse what is being offered.
It's yours. That's yours to keep. Right? Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, here. I want to show you this. I'm not even done with the book yet. These are all CBT notes.
Ew, what was it under last time?
Healing with jewels.
That's all just CBT. I don't know if you know people.
Heard of it before. Your mom? My dad.
Really?
My dad did a program like this, but out of state, and he stayed at Monastery for like 2 weeks. He did.
Aha. I learned how to do it.
Just guided meditation every morning, breakfast. and
How
then
long ago was this? That's very interesting.
a few months ago.
Okay, there you have it.
He's probably done it again a few times since I haven't
We do that a lot. Sam and I do that a lot. He pays for stuff, and then I won't let him, and then I pay for stuff, and he wouldn't let me, and then we use we are battling with the video and with the rules for months. He's like, you can't refuse what's being offered. It's a lot of fun. He keeps me very young, you know. And when I'm listening to something, and he's like, entertainment, refrain from entertainment, he calls me out on everything. Everything I do, he calls me. He's like a referee. It's like living with a referee. But you're welcome. And again, give more Take Lives. It brings happiness. I appreciate everyone donating over the past couple of days, as it now benefits students worldwide, especially here in this class. It gives them means to bring young students coming down to absorb the teachings. And I look forward maybe kayaking next week. So that's why I have to head back to the office, make more money so that we can have kayaking money and have fun and meditate on the waters. If you've ever sat
on the waters. It's just you and the water. That's it. No humanity, no police, no city hall, no White House, no senators, no Congress, no nothing. You and nature, you and the dolphins. That's it. And so I can't wait to share that experience, rare experience here in Florida with all of you, to sit with the water, by the waters, and immerse yourself, your mind deep. Surface of the water, I teach you to dive all the way down, unmoved by things that are going on in your life. This is life right here. Ups, downs, tornadoes, storms, hurricanes, right? Iceberg. We learn to dive real deep and just chill down there with our low snorkeling mask, looking at all the beautiful, finer things that the ocean has to offer.
Water is relaxing.
That's right. So see you all next Sunday, and it's great. Oh, I want some pictures too. Johnny, can you grab me a few pictures?
I wanted to tell you this. Someone, when I was in my ISS class, someone picked up my bag, and I had the Buddha you gave me,
Yeah.
and they picked up my bag when I wasn't looking, and everything fell out. And they were like, I don't know if they were trying to steal my bag or something. Everything fell out, and the Buddha got decapitated.
Oh, I guess that guy's going to hell. Come sit or kneel or whatever. Here, you guys go. Some on this side, some on that side, 3 on that side, there you go, 2 on this side. She doesn't bite. Don't worry.
I can take the picture.
Oh, you want to be 007 and hide,
I mean,
How about just sit and then you guys will switch?
and then you guys can switch. Unless you're wanted by the FBI.
maybe. Might be on a watch.
Everyone put your hands together as a sign of peace.
Yeah.
Let me put an emoji and hide your face and like put like
You want to put a mask?
like a mask on, like John Wick, you know.
All right, you guys
Just
are
get
good.
those Hey, you want to swap real quick?
We know that.
I'll just publish this picture. Yeah, I'll keep the other one to myself.
Oh, the pro.
Angle is huge. Cameras, giant.
Thanks to Apple. Okay, very good. Thank you all for coming. And Sam, we're just going to leave everything here. We'll come back to it after we're done with our secret mission. It's never a secret.
Are there more of these shirts?
Yes, yeah, there's plenty more that Sahari sent so that, so people can purchase these shirts and proceeds go to our programs.
What shirts are?
I've told you about these before on the phone,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get my shirt.
about how
First
little
shirt.
people give more and give
yeah.
less.
They're $25.
Isn't it connected to your link tree?
Yeah, it's on my link tree. You can order it from Sahari. If you just click on the link tree, you can order it from there. Next time, I'll bring a few next Sunday. I just don't want to look like the retail monk. It started with a TikTok monk, and then the celebrity monk, and now the retail monk. You have?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, because I was trying to trace.
I charge $50 for an autograph.
Did you just see the video of him shaving my head? Or like, what did,
Yeah, I did. I saw the video of
just randomly?
yeah, and then I scrolling through Instagram the same exact day that I saw that. You popped up, but your name was different, and I was like,
Yeah, I changed
who?
my name.
I was like, who is this? And then I go on the
And I
page.
deleted everything.
Hold on, no, it has all the like David Goggins and like different motivational
yeah,
speakers.
yeah.
I listened to that people that you posted, but in there is the video of you getting your head shaved. I'm like, I saw the video and I immediately went. I was like, I know this is Sam. I know